For 30 years, this was the face of everything America was afraid of. The locked jaw, the dead eyes. A dog bred, they told you, for one purpose, to kill. Almost none of it is true. And the part that is true has been turned exactly upside down. This is the most rewritten dog in American history. Not once, twice. Once by the people who feared it, once by the people who loved it. Tonight we open both files, and we put the record straight. Start with the thing almost nobody says out loud. Pit bull isn't a breed. It never was. It's a label, stretched across 4 or 5 separate breeds, and any mixed dog with a blocky head and a short coat. There is no single animal you can point to and call the pit bull. Hold on to that. By the end of this file, it matters more than anything else in it. The first rewrite is the kind one. You've heard it, the nanny dog. The gentle breed Victorian families supposedly trusted to guard their children. A living cradle with teeth it never used. Beautiful story. Also, invented. Historians can't find it anywhere before 1971. A single newspaper line about one breeder's dogs. No Victorian nanny dogs. No child-proof breed. The people who spread it meant well. They were trying to save a dog drowning in bad press. But even they took it back. Because telling a parent that any dog is a guaranteed babysitter is how children get hurt. So set the halo down. The first lie about this dog was told by the people trying to save it. The real animal is more interesting than the saint. Because the real dog wasn't born in a nursery, it was born in a pit. In 19th century Britain, bulldogs were set on chained bulls for a crowd, until Parliament outlawed it in 1835. The blood sport didn't die, it shrank. Breeders crossed those bulldogs with terriers, faster, sharper, and moved the violence into a smaller ring. Dog against dog. That cross is the ancestor of every pit bull alive today. This is the dark page of the file. We're not going to pretend it isn't there. But here is the detail the whole modern panic gets exactly, perfectly backwards. Picture that ring, 2 dogs locked together, and a man, barehanded, reaching into the middle of it to pull them apart. His own dog, inches from its jaws. A dog that turned on that man was useless to him. Worse, a danger to its own owner. So the ones that bit people tended to get pulled from the bloodline, and the ones a handler could trust got bred on. Not as some ironclad law, as a preference, repeated across generations, always pushing in the one direction that kept a man's hands intact. Whatever else you do, don't turn on the person. Sit with that. The exact history people hold up as proof this dog was built to hurt humans is the same history in which aggression toward humans was the one thing selected against. The fighting didn't make it love people. If anything, it's the reason the breed was shaped to tolerate them. That refusal to quit a task, even hurt, that has a name. Gameness. And it has nothing to do with turning on a human. We confuse the two. And we built a nation's fear on a word we never understood. For a long time, America knew this in its bones. This was the dog on the wartime posters, standing in for the country itself. This was Petey, the ring-eyed pup from Little Rascals a whole generation grew up beside. By many accounts, Helen Keller kept one. So did a president in the White House. For the first half of the 20th century, this wasn't the most feared dog in America. It was America's dog. So what changed? Not the dog, us. July 27, 1987. Sports Illustrated. A pit bull, snarling, filling the entire cover. 3 words above its head. Beware of this dog. The article inside was actually careful. The cover was not. It didn't report a fear. It manufactured one on every newsstand in the country in a single image. 2 decades later, the magazine would go back to that panic, and one of its own writers acknowledged the part that cover had played in it. That cover did in 1 week what a century of breeding never had. It rewrote the animal in the public mind, and the law came running to catch up. By 1989, Denver had banned them outright. In 1991, Britain wrote a handful of breeds into law you could seize and destroy on sight. A dog put down not for anything it did, but for the shape of its head. No offense required, just resemblance. But here is the part that should stop you. That pit bull in the headlines was almost never tested. It was named by eye. And when researchers held that eye up against an actual DNA test, it was wrong a startling share of the time. Dogs without a trace of bull breed in them were being counted as pit bulls. Real ones were missed. The label was so unreliable that the CDC stopped tracking dog bites by breed at all. And when the bands were studied, they found no evidence any of it had lowered the bite. They hadn't outlawed a breed, they'd outlawed a silhouette. Even the one fact everyone repeated, that the jaws lock shut, was never real. No dog's jaw locks. The mechanism the rumor promised has never been found in a single one. Examined up close, the monster kept turning back into a dog, none of which makes any animal harmless. Temperament comes from genes, from upbringing, from the individual dog in front of you, never from a label, in either direction. That is the honest line in this file too. So here is the record, put straight. A dog bred more carefully than almost any other, not to turn on the human in front of it. Loved by a country, printed on its posters, trusted with its children. Then handed a snarling photograph and a set of laws written for a shape. Walk through any shelter today and you'll meet the survivors of that story. Dogs pulled out of the worst that people can do to an animal, who still climb into the first lap that will have them. As if the one thing generations of handlers bred toward outlasted every year we spent afraid of the name. Do not bite the hand. We open these files so the record is straight. This one was rewritten twice, once by fear, once by love. Now, you've read the original. If a dog like that ever changed your mind in person, tell me their name below. Get it in the record.